Hi, it is a bright Sunday sunny morning for us here in India. Today, Aston Villa is going to be playing at Villa Park after a long time. We are playing against Everton. And if we win tonight, we are going to be second in the EPL table. This position has been practically served on a platter for us by Manchester United after they defeated Man City last night. So, yeah, keeping my fingers crossed. It'll be great if you're in the second position and we're able to maintain that. There is a gap, massive one between Arsenal and us, but one game at a time. Let's inch 1 point at a time towards them. Grealish is going to come home. I say it like this because I have the hugest crush on him, but I also know that a lot of Villa fans are now done with this whole thing that Grealish has had left us long back. He's over this club. We should also get over him. But I will be watching the match doe-eyed, looking at his thighs and calf and having a good time. Any which way, this is my match preview. I call it the pre-match panic protocol because that's how the situation is always at our home before a match. I do it in my own special style, in my own special three segments. So let's begin. My first segment is called I'm emotionally preparing for this. Now, ever since I've started watching football, which is quite recent only for me, Aston Villa always under Unai Emery at the 60th minute does a substitution. Sometimes it's three substitutes or one, and always the striker is replaced at the 60th minute or the 64th, like somewhere in between that time frame. And when that striker comes, usually in the 5 to 8 minutes of that person coming in, there's a goal that is scored. Now, initially it was Jean Duran for us. Then there was a time when Rashford would come in and do this for us. And for the longest time, as far as I can remember, Malin was that player for us. And now Malin has moved to Roma on a loan. I don't know who our second striker is going to be. There are talks that Gusand will now be treated as the second striker. We will be opening with Bundia Sancho. One will know better once the lineup is announced today. Malin was such a great player. The thing that I appreciated the most about him was that he was really quick with his feet, which is a thing that is missing in the rest of our team at Villa. He was he when a ball would come to him, a lot of times he wouldn't even receive it. He would just kick it towards the goal post, and we needed that kind of energy to come in the 60th minute and change the pace of the game. So he is going to be missed a lot. I am still a new fan, so I don't take transfers that well. I know people get used to them after some point of time, but I'm just like devastated, and I was devastated when John Duran went. I was devastated when we couldn't retain Rashford and Asensio, and I was also devastated when Jacob Ramsey had gone. So yeah, this is going to be a tough one to take. I'm also aware that the Aston Villa fans are also going to be missing Malin a lot. Malin had recently put up a post on Instagram where he announced that he's joined Roma on a loan, and all the comments below that are of our team here: Rogers, Digne, Matty Cash, McGinn. Everybody's going to miss him. There were crying emoticons and all the best messages. And yeah, it is going to be a thing that will take us some time to recover from. I hope it is not like the previous transfer window. I hope we're able to find some good players by the time the January window ends. We always have some surprises packed in for us. So yeah, fingers crossed. Let's see who comes. Till then, I'm emotionally preparing to watch a match without Malin in it. It's so sad. I didn't even know that when the last time he was playing, that this is the last time I'm going to be seeing him play for Aston Villa. I mean, it's a loan. Things can change, but for now, this season, I had absolutely no idea that this was Malin's last match in the Villa jersey. So I am emotionally preparing for this. My second segment is called I Did Some Research and Now I'm Stressed. Now, on top of it, how you look at it from a distance, of course, this feels like a very easy match for Aston Villa because we have a terrific form. We have won 11 of our consecutive matches at Villa Park. and the one that we lost to Arsenal was not at Villa Park. So yeah, we still have a very, very good home form maintained. Also, the win probability says that there are only 17% chances of Everton winning. So all the odds are in our favor. They have some injuries. They have some players off for AFCON. We also do have some injuries, but any which way, like, things are mostly in our favor. And if we don't win this one, it is going to be a surprise. But having said that, I did some research and I've realized that Everton is in great away form. They have won 5 out of 6 of their matches that they played away in EPL. If they win this, this is going to be 3 consecutive wins for them, which has not happened for them since 21, when they were under Ancelotti, May 21. Yeah. And I was today's day old when I found out that Ancelotti was in Everton before he moved to Real Madrid. There is a lot to learn for this new fan, and I'm learning and growing with each match. Anyway, so yeah, they have great away form, we have great home form. When the two of them will clash, one only wonders what will happen. Also, whether it's away or at home, for Everton, it is they're turning out to be this team that is very hard to score against. So yeah, I'm wondering how this match is going to be. I am hoping for a win, but one can never say. Like Unai Emery said, that this is a team he really respects and he doesn't want to take it for granted. So that's the emotion I'm going to enter the match with tonight. My third segment is called That My Delusional Hope Is. Now, I call it delusional because this is the absolutely correct thing to hope for, but for some reason, that's not happening in any narrative around the West or in India about Aston Villa. Now, we are sitting at the third position. Today, if we win, we will be at the second position, and we are somewhere, I mean, 1 week ahead of the mid of this season. And there are a lot of people who do like a reevaluation of where who will end and what are their predictions. And for some reason, some major sports journalists are still not taking Aston Villa seriously, which is extremely disheartening because I feel that they still consider our victories and our whole form to be something that is extraordinary. Like, this was not supposed to happen. So they keep mentioning the law of averages and they keep saying that eventually we will average out our position. Which is, as an Aston Villa fan who is very specifically watching Aston Villa games, really studying them, I feel like they are not right when they say this, because this is okay. We are in the second position. We're going to be in second position most probably tonight, but this is not the first season that we're doing well. This team has been building this kind of gameplay and effort over the last 3 seasons, and anybody who noticed it noticed that we were a tough team to beat, especially at home. So I feel that I mean, I look at Liverpool's matches, I look at Man City's matches. They look extremely defeatable this season, and they have a lot of weak areas, and still people are predicting them to finish before us. Um, I feel like this is some kind of bias in journalism, because if they looked at Aston Villa matches with the same intensity and focus that they look at, say, the top 4 clubs matches, they would know that something's changed in this club and they are building towards a good finish by the end of this season. So yeah, my delusional hope from the world is that give Aston Villa some attention. We are not here by fluke. This team has worked really hard and got themselves together and become a threat. Like today, any EPL team that is facing Aston Villa will not think that this is going to be an easy match for us. And that is what Unai Emery has built over the last 3 years. And yeah, it needs some attention. Anyway, I'm looking forward to the Everton match. I'm looking forward to a lot of Grealish, and I'm looking forward to a win. I will see you in the post-match review, which is called the Fangirls Match Report. Till then, up the Villa, really, really hoping for a win.